just want to see if testing. Oh. There's no sound. Okay. I guess I'm doing it. I'm definitely nervous about doing this today because I know it's recording. I guess last time I didn't know if it was recording, but I kind of knew that it wasn't in the back of my head, so I guess I wasn't. Oh come on. I don't want to see my face, and I don't want to see how many people are watching because that is distracting. So I covered it up with a piece of cardboard like I did last time. Yeah, so I guess I am nervous because I know it's recording. I don't know why. It's stupid. I was thinking that it would be a good idea to bring a topic because last time I guess I did record last week, but I didn't I did stream, but it didn't record. And I didn't really feel like I had anything to talk about. So I thought I would bring a topic. I guess I was worried about that before because I didn't want to waste my topics on the streaming and then not have anything to talk about on the YouTube thing. Oh, why does this keep coming off? Oh, wait. No, give me 1 second. Okay, it says nobody's watching, so let me just hold on. Cover that up. Okay, perfect. I should have done that before, but okay, yeah, now I can't see. That's perfect. Okay, I think I wanted to. I'm trying to remember what I did last week. I think I wanted to get like the geodes to the guy. And I needed money. I don't have any money. Okay. So I was worried about using up my topics during streaming and then but I'll just talk about the same stuff I talked about because nobody's watching the YouTube thing anyway, so who cares if I talk about the same thing twice. I wanted to do this streaming thing because it was hard, and I was feeling yesterday after I recorded my YouTube stuff, I was feeling pretty bad because it didn't go well. And it was the first time I had recorded in a long time, and I was thinking, well, why don't I just stop? Like, what am I doing? I'm not getting like better. This isn't helping, and this is stupid. And I still guess I feel that way, but I don't know why I keep feeling like I have to do this, and I just do. I feel compelled to do it. Even though I don't hate doing it, but it's hard. So I don't know why I'm doing it. But I am. And let's go get the geodes. So I don't know if I have enough notes to talk about Star Wars for an hour. Maybe I'll just, if I think of something else to talk about, I'll talk about it. Oh, I forgot it was $25. That's expensive. Okay. I'm not sure I have no idea what to do with streaming stuff. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking about, or how I'm supposed to like engage people, or I don't know. I mean, last time I did this, nobody watched, and I didn't get any comments, so that was good because I got more comfortable. But it's like kind of bad if nobody's watching, because then what did I get? Summer. I don't think it's summer, right? Maybe it is summer. How do I know? So yeah, I just want to do this for an hour like I did last week. My mouth is already dry. Like, good thing I have water. Oh. I'm nervous. Ugh. Okay. So, Star Wars. I guess I don't know. It would be weird to... I feel like it's been long enough to talk about the new Star Wars movie. Like, if somebody showed up and I was in the middle of a spoiler, nobody's gonna show up. Oh, I need to give her this. How do I give this to her? I definitely need to plant seeds. I think it's summer. How can you tell? Does that little boat mean that it's summer? The second day of summer? This says plant during summer. It might say on the TV. I guess it's been long enough. Because when you're recording, you can just say at the beginning, like, I'm going to spoil the new movie. But if you're streaming, it would be weird. But yeah, nobody's going to show up, so I'm sure that'll be fine. It must be summer. You start in spring, right? So let's do it. So I have my notes, and I kind of already talked about it when I recorded yesterday, so maybe I'll be able to do it better. I don't know. Probably not. I guess I could preface it by saying, like, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan ever. I liked the movies when I was a kid. Can you catch these? Like everybody. But I didn't, like, watch them... I didn't watch them that much when I was a kid. I think because the new movies had already come out by the time I was like 5 or 6. So I watched those, and the effects in those are like better. So as a kid, you're like, oh, look at the lightsabers are cooler. And the old movies are like boring and slow. Even though Phantom Menace is kind of boring and slow, but as a kid you just look at like the effects and you're like, this looks better, so I like it better. I guess when I got older I liked the older movies more because I think everybody kind of agrees they're much better movies. Just want to test one more time that the music isn't too loud. Hello, hello. There's no music. I guess that's fine. I have it. I figured out how to fix the music. You go in here and turn it down. I turned it all the way down. How do you see it? But it was still kind of loud because I'm so quiet. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I need money. How do I get money? Maybe I should go fishing. Let's do that. So, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I guess when I was younger, I built like a connection to Star Wars through the games, because there were a lot of Star Wars games and toys and stuff, so maybe that's why I felt like a connection to it, because I do have like a strong nostalgia for it, even though I didn't watch the movies that much when I was a kid. I think that's probably why. What were my favorites? I guess Nintendo 64 had a lot of Star Wars games. There was like what was that one with the guy? Shadows of the Empire. That was fun. And there were ones when you're like in a ship. I think it's called like Rogue Squadron or something. I liked those. And I'm not doing a good job. There's a fish. I can't reach him. So the new movie, I didn't like it. I only saw it once, and I saw it a while ago. So I don't know if I might have more to say about it. Like if I'm gonna see it again, definitely. So, but I'm pretty confident that I won't like it, even after seeing it again. I guess my main problem with it is that, so whenever a new movie came out, I would always rewatch all the old ones from in number order 1 through 9. I can't reach that fish. I didn't do anything today. So my main problem is that it, as a trilogy, it doesn't work really at all. I feel like the arcs over the course of the 3 movies for the new sequel trilogy don't. Okay, the cardboard is fading. Come on, stay flat. Okay, good, perfect. It doesn't work as a trilogy. And I guess watching the old movies, even though like the prequels are bad, everybody knows it, and but you can tell in those movies that just seeing it compared to the new one, the trilogies, the older trilogies are, you can tell how a trilogy should be and how it shouldn't be. I guess go to bed. I didn't do anything today. Oh, let's sell the seashells. I didn't like The Last Jedi when I first saw it. And I remember feeling, because I really liked The Force Awakens. And I remember feeling really weird leaving The Last Jedi, and I guess it's probably how people felt when they saw the Phantom Menace. Like, how was that bad? Like, how did I not like that? Um, I think The Force Awakens did a really good job of setting up a trilogy. There was an earthquake. So I was really excited for the second one. And I was kind of expecting to like it as much as Empire Strikes Back, which is like too high of a expectation to put on it. And then I saw the reviews and they were really good, and I was getting really excited. I think the reason why some people didn't like this movie is because they were hoping that, like, the trilogy would come together at the end, and it didn't. And so that's why I think I didn't like the second one, because I could tell at that point that, like, this trilogy really isn't gonna be satisfying. It's not gonna it was clear that they didn't really have an idea of what they wanted to do, and it was just kind of like, as separate movies, they're fine. They're like, I feel like I enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed the Avengers or something, but like I don't really like the Avengers that much. Like, I went to the theater and I saw all the movies, and I didn't really expect anything out of them, and they were kind of fun, and so, but I'm never gonna watch them again. I don't have any reason to watch them. And so I feel sad that, like, that's how I feel about the new Star Wars, is like, they're not good enough to rewatch. They're not interesting. They're just kind of fun visual things that you can watch. I don't know what to do. I guess go fishing again. I made money yesterday, and I can buy seeds. That's good. Okay, I'm doing bad today. Yesterday I feel like the best episode I did was when I was recording and talking about Breath of the Wild. So I thought maybe I should talk about that today. But then I thought, well, it's better to talk about Star Wars because that just is more recent. Closed on Wednesdays. So then next week I would talk about Breath of the Wild, but if I struggled with Star Wars, I was gonna fall back on that. I'll keep trying. Don't fall. So yeah, just spoilers again. It was really jarring. They put Palpatine in the trailer, and you think they do that to... They did it in an interesting way, because I remember thinking, okay, he's in the trailer, but he's probably not going to be in the movie. Like, they wouldn't do that. That would be crazy, right? And then the movie starts off, right away they're like, Palpatine's back. Deal with it. And I think that's the best way to do it. Like, don't make it a secret, because you've got so much to deal with in that movie that it's like, Palpatine's back, and so just deal with that, and we're moving on to the next thing. Right away, that's the first scene. And that's clear that that's what they were doing. Like, we need to introduce this because it's kind of insane that he's back. And I was watching some interviews with J.J. Abrams, and he was saying, like, Disney got it in their heads that, like, and J.J. Abrams, that they needed to... This last movie was the culmination of a saga, which is something they invented. A trilogy is a thing, right? 3 movies, it's a thing that's been in cinema for forever. But a saga isn't a thing. You don't have to make a trilogy of trilogies there's no precedent for that. I mean, you can start doing it, but if you start doing it and realize that it's impossible and the history of Star Wars there's too much weight to it and you can't do it, then maybe you should stop and just make your own trilogy separate. And like, you can still put Han Solo in your movie, but you don't have to. The reason why I didn't like The Last Jedi was because there was too many characters. They were bouncing back and forth all the time, and they didn't spend enough time with the interesting characters that they set up in The Force Awakens, which was Rey and Kylo Ren. Just like, I wanted them to spend more time there. And they were going back to this, and then they introduced new characters with their own arcs, and there's like 10 different arcs going on at the same time, and I just wanted to simplify. And I was hoping that's what JJ would do in this new movie, but he introduced more characters. He introduced like 3 more characters, and they had their own arcs, and then he brought back Palpatine, and then Han Solo's in there, Luke's in there, Leia's in there, and you have all your old characters, Finn, Poe, and it's like way too much. Why did they do that? I'm trying to make. Oh yeah, I have to. So yeah, everybody likes the original Star Wars for a different reason. So it's impossible to make everybody happy. I think the people that were the most happy with this new movie were people that like Star Wars for the like epicness of it. And so to bring back Palpatine, they like that because it's like, oh, everything is like, everything is epic, and like they have all these giant space battles, and everything is so big, and there's like 15 set pieces where like it's a crazy, and in that way it does all that stuff really well. Like, all the space battles are cool to look at, and he does do interesting stuff with visual stuff and new interesting stuff that I mean, I've only seen the movie once and nothing comes to mind, but I feel like I've never seen some visual stuff in that movie that I've seen before. So if that's why you like the original Star Wars, and if you grew up with the original Star Wars, I think that is a big portion of it, because the effects in those movies are amazing for the time. But I grew up afterwards, so I didn't really like the original movies for the effects, because they were kind of, compared to the newer stuff, they were kind of cheesy and lame. But I liked the movies. I think the main reason is because I was talking about this yesterday. Like, it was simple. But I just like Luke and Darth Vader's arc, basically. And there's not too many characters. You don't have to. It's not like bouncing back and forth between everybody, and I don't know. I like their arcs, and I've talked about it before, probably. Specifically, what I like about it. I feel like their characters are really interesting and different, and also obviously like the imagination of George Lucas to like create the Force and lightsabers and Darth Vader, and to throw that into the old hero's journey, which is like a tried and true way to tell a story, but he puts a different spin on it. Is why it's a good movie, like critically. And then Empire does a lot of cool stuff with cinematography and character stuff with Darth Vader, and doing different stuff that you don't expect. I wasted the whole day. I guess I wanted to buy seeds and I didn't. The store was closed. Bull. Okay, 25 minutes. We're doing it. I haven't gotten a comment yet. I don't know how I would handle that. Would be scary to see something pop up. I don't know. I still have more stuff about Star Wars, which is good because I have a half an hour left. I guess there's a lot of little stuff about the new movie that I didn't like, but that little stuff usually doesn't bother me. Like, I don't know, people always complain about plot holes and like, oh, this is dumb, and there was stuff in that movie that was dumb, that I would say. The biggest thing that comes to mind is like that Sith sword that Rey gets, the knife that's like a map, and there's a lot of stuff with that that's kind of stupid, but like all that stuff, it wouldn't bother me if like they just, the rest of the things that are most important to me are like character stuff and I guess character arcs, and I guess I don't know. I just like simple stories, and there just was too much in this movie. Too many characters. I don't know. A lot of people online, I mean, critics are they don't like the movie, so I'm thinking, well, the more you look into it, probably it's not gonna be like turn out to be a masterpiece of. But the little stuff in this movie, it wouldn't bother me if I liked the character stuff, but I didn't like the character stuff, so then all this little stuff kind of stands out to you, like the thing with the sword. I need to bring my hoe because there's so much stuff. They introduce a lot of stuff with the Force that is like, I know it's a new movie and you have to like introduce new stuff, but and you could do it in a way where it doesn't bother me, but like the Force healing, like it makes sense that Jedis can heal wounds with the Force, but there's so much of it in this movie, and Rey basically they bring each other, I don't remember exactly what happens, but like they bring each other back to life. I don't know, I need to buy something. Oh, tomatoes. And I bought some of those already. I don't know, just buy everything. I guess I'm thinking, well, I guess it does make sense that a Jedi could heal somebody from death, like a perfect Jedi. And there's the dark side of that, which is what happens in the prequels. Palpatine says he could bring people back to life, so it would make sense that both sides, if you were like a perfect Jedi, you could do the good version of that, but I guess number one is that's not interesting. To put that in your movie. And where's my hoe? I just don't like the way they use it in the movie. Is that interesting? No, it's not. Say something interesting. Look at your notes. Maybe you said something interesting in your notes. I guess the thing, the hottest take I have is like, because I see a lot of people online saying, like what I mentioned before, like, well, it's, the movie wasn't great, but like, JJ had a lot to do in this movie because there's 8 movies leading up to it, so he had to like wrap everything up in this last movie. But that was their decision to make this thing a saga, the Skywalker saga. They didn't have to do that. So if it's bad, then it's their fault. Oh, I got eggs. Are my chickens happy? Good. 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 Oh, not good. Oh, I can get feed now though. I need this site. That's maybe the most interesting thing I have to add. Everything else is pretty much what everybody else is saying. Like, this trilogy's a mess. It keeps going, like, JJ did the first one, and then Rian Johnson kind of went back on everything in the second one, and so that's why this trilogy isn't good. And I get frustrated by The Last Jedi because I feel like that movie is really close to being a movie that I really like. The first... This is just like a personal preference thing, obviously, but for that movie to be like a movie that I really like, I think they would have to, first of all, cut out all of the Holdo stuff. Just get rid of that. Make the movie 40 minutes shorter. Add a couple scenes with Rey and Kylo, because that's interesting. And they introduce, it feels like what they're introducing in the first half of the movie is like, let the past die, and Kylo Ren says that, like, we're moving on, like, and even Luke says it's time for the Jedi to end, because, and I really liked that idea, like, yeah, the Jedi don't own the Force. The Jedi kind of ruined everything. They created Darth Vader because they were so arrogant. And Luke realizes that. And I don't think Luke needs to have his own arc where he starts out thinking the Jedi should end and then comes around to the end. Like, he's the mentor character. He doesn't have to have an arc. He can just stay the same the whole movie. It's Rey who changes. I mean, it's pretty ambitious. It's really ambitious what they did. They give every character in that movie arcs. Like, everybody changes. And Rian Johnson's a good writer, and he does everything well, but it's just too much. And it's just frustrating how it starts out as a movie that I like where it's going, and then at the end it comes back like, at the end it just turns into like, well, it's rebels against the Empire again. because that's what Star Wars is, and we have to do it again. And it's frustrating because I'm like, well, just you were saying you want to do something new, and then you went back on it, and then I got sad at the end. That's why I think. I know why they did that. Maybe that was a Disney decision, because it's like, well, if we go, what are we gonna do in the next movie? We need a war, so we need rebels and we need the Empire. So at the end of your movie, you kind of have to reset everything if you want more Star Wars movies. But they could have tried to do something different and weird, and that would have been cool. And they didn't, and that made me sad. And then the last movie, J.J. Abrams was like, well, let's try to, I don't care what Ryan did, I'm going to undo what he did and then redo what I did in the first movie and then continue that story. So he basically made 3 movies in his new movie. And that's why it's such a convoluted mess of a thing. Does she like me yet? I've given her so many horseradishes. Nope. I have 1 heart with her. What does it mean that the last 2 are grayed? I have the Twitch thing open on my computer, which is probably a bad idea. Don't want to look at it. I saw that nobody's watching, so that made me feel good. I'm less nervous. Where are all the fish? I guess I'm going to try to post this on YouTube. I need topics. To talk. What do normal streaming people? I guess they talk to their commenters, right? So, and I don't have any commenters, so that's why I need topics. It's hard for me to imagine that anybody would ever want to willingly watch this. I don't know. I was talking about it before, like, maybe I don't want to, like, play up the social anxiety thing too much, but, like, that's what makes me interesting, I think, is, like, somebody who has social anxiety trying to record themselves and make videos. What does that look like? And if you have social anxiety, maybe you might relate to that. But I don't know. I don't think I'm. I mean, I know I'm not good at talking, and I'm not good at being entertaining, or what does that mean? Or being funny. So there's no reason to really watch this. There's a football game on, but I didn't. I'll watch the second half. Yeah, people mentioned about the new movie, like, there's something about it that feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like, it's so weird, like, in a bad way. I mean, it's in a bad way for me. Other people might like it. It reminded me of what, I guess, just like comic book TV shows. They get to a point where, like, there's so much mythology and so much that it just gets so convoluted and dumb that it's like everything gets, the scale keeps increasing and everybody keeps getting all these powers because they have to keep introducing new powers to make it interesting. So you have all these, you have to keep all this stuff in mind, like all these different powers and all these different characters. Um, and in the end, it's just like everything gets too big, and I don't like stories that are big. I like small stories. Like, I mean, this to me, the original trilogy is about Luke and his dad. That's it. That's the story. Like, it's not really about the Empire or about. Why is that chicken mad? They spend so much of those old movies talking about Luke, talking about his friends and talking about his dad, wanting to save his dad, wanting to save his friends. He doesn't care really about the war. But in this new movie, it's like they bring Palpatine back, and he's like, everything that's happened has been because of me, and I have these lightning powers, and I have millions of Death Stars or Death Star tech on the fleet of battleships, and it's so ridiculous. Everything is so big, and I just want it to be smaller. Just make it about Rey and Kylo and their relationship. That's all I care about. It's fun to see the fleet. Like, that's an amazing shot of like the thousands of ships like raising out of the ground, and it's cool. But that's it. It's just like just a cool visual. But there's more. There has to be more to a movie than that for me. I was just thinking, Saturday night feels like a good time to stream. Because I guess the only people who would really watch me are people like me, and people like me don't have anything to do on Saturday night. So it would be good to be like, oh, I'm kind of feeling lonely, so I want to watch somebody else be lonely and play Stardew Valley. I feel like that's something of value I could bring. But I guess there's millions of Twitch channels, so you can watch somebody else if that's what you want to do. I probably need to make Twitch friends, but I don't even know how to make real friends, so how's that gonna work? Let's make something. No. Let's do that. Okay. I usually like to save a couple of each fruit. I guess part of the game is like completing all the recipes and everything. Right? Oh no. Yeah. So I like to keep stuff for, I don't know, just in case somebody asks for something too. Like if it's winter and somebody wants a melon, it's nice to have a melon. But I didn't save anything from spring. I'm kind of slouching. Oh. The PS4 camera's kind of cool. It's not the best quality, but it was only $40, so what do you expect? Is that all I have to say? I guess I did talk about Star Wars for like the whole time. It's pretty good. And I didn't get any help from like comments or anything. So I think next week I'll try to do this every week. And it's really easy. This like there's no setup and there's no editing. It's just an hour every week, and then you're done. You don't have to do anything. So I could do it. I could even do it like on a Tuesday or something. Just like I guess if I wanted to. I guess I'll just say that I like Breath of the Wild a lot, but there is stuff that I guess I don't feel like it deserves as much praise as it's getting. Like on Metacritic it has like a 98 or something crazy. Like it's a good open world game, but there are other open world games that I feel like I don't play a lot of open world games because I don't really like them, so maybe that's the problem for me. And I feel like this Zelda game falls into the same problem that I see with other open world games. It doesn't really fix any of the problems, but it's still a good. Like I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I guess I would say I like Zelda more, but just because it's Zelda, and I like playing as Zelda, and I guess in a Zelda game you can do more interesting stuff with locations. Like you can have a volcano area, and you can have like a thunder area, but in Assassin's Creed you can't do that because it takes place in Greece. But I did really like Assassin's Creed because it was kind of fun to like run around in ancient Greece, and there's so much attention to detail there with the buildings and everything, and they did a really good job with all that. And then they do throw in some like, oh yeah, Cyclopses, or you fight a Cyclops, and that's cool. I want to wait till my chickens go back in. I don't really want them to stay outside, I don't think, because then they might not eat. I don't know. I think they also lay eggs outside if you if you leave them outside, and then you have to go looking for the eggs. Yeah, I don't know. I'll make a pen. Yeah, I'll do that. Whew. I always mention this, but like, it's Saturday, and I didn't talk out loud all day, so this is interesting. I don't ever talk this much. I just feel like I have to mention that in case you're watching and you're like, I don't know, to make you be like, oh, that's why he's bad at talking, because he never talks. Yeah, I had a pretty rough day yesterday recording, and then last night I was like pretty depressed. I was thinking like, oh, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. And I just wanted to stop doing this because I didn't know. I guess there's this imaginary person in my head who's like gonna question like, why are you doing this? And then I have to have an answer. Like, well, I have social anxiety and I'm trying to get better. And then that imaginary person would be like, well, that's a dumb way to get better. Like, why don't you go outside or see a therapist or something? And I would be like, oh, I don't know. You're right. I hate myself. I need a bunch of these. How many can I make? Oops. That's not good. Oh no, what happened? Okay. Guess I'll do like this, and then like this. And then I need a gate right there. And I need to do this, and I'll put a gate there. Those chickens are stuck, so maybe I should put a gate there. Why are you stuck? Okay, I almost did perfect with... Oops, don't do that. The buttons on this... I've never been... I don't know, I feel like when you're a kid, you just kind of instinctually know how to hold a controller and like press all the buttons, but when you get older, like your brain dies and you don't know how to do it anymore. I was having a really hard time playing Breath of the Wild, like remembering the jump button, and like that's never happened to me before. Like I always could know how to play a game just like instantly, but now I'm old and I don't. And now I'm like, okay, I got the Breath of the Wild controls down, but now I'm playing this game and like the buttons are different. Okay, 10 more minutes. That wasn't so bad, was it? I think I'm gonna post it on YouTube. This video. Why not? Even though I talked about the same stuff. I just need a couple more hits. Don't die. Don't die. Okay, I'm good. I just want to build this fence. Get rid of these. Okay, now that I get the chicken eggs every day, I have a good, steady source of income. Well, let's put chicken feed just to make sure. Move, chicken. I guess I should keep trying to talk about Star Wars. Ray being a Palpatine is dumb. That's just more like the way they handled Kylo Ren being Han Solo's son. They did such a good job with that. Like, they made it kind of mysterious in the first half of the first movie. They're like, oh, your lineage is important, and so you're thinking, oh, who is Kylo Ren? And they don't make it like a big reveal. Snoke is just like, you need to face your father, Han Solo, and they just kind of like a throwaway, which is good. It's like, don't make a big thing out of it. And so you think that's the way they'll handle it, but I mean, they did kind of do that with Rey and Palpatine, but it didn't work as well. I guess just because it was like an hour, the reveal was like an hour into the third movie. It's like, oh, we're just learning about this now, and it's not really affecting anything. It can't, just because they have so much stuff to do. It's just too much. The movie is too much. It's much too much. But I do want them to keep making Star Wars movies. I think I would be excited if they were announcing like a new trilogy. Like, we're gonna do a new trilogy that's about the Old Republic, and Rian Johnson's gonna write it. I'd be like, oh, that could work. Like, that would be good. And I would be excited for that. Even if it was just, I don't know. It's just Star Wars. I want more Star Wars. I don't care if it's bad. People get upset sometimes when they make new movies, and it's like, oh, it ruins the old ones. Well, it doesn't really, for me. I could still watch the old ones and feel the same. It makes me appreciate them more, because it's like, oh, it's hard to make a good movie. That's nice how they give you the exact amount of hay you need. Don't let the chickens out. Can't really do much else today. I mentioned last week I was watching this girl stream, Quirky Pixel, and she streamed for like 3 hours, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. That's pretty tough. I mentioned I kind of wanted to change my name, but I still can't think of anything. Any other notes? I talked about some stuff yesterday. Roller Coaster Tycoon. I guess I'll post that video tomorrow. I can buy more seeds. And Leah is at the beach probably, right? I can give her something. No, I can't give her anything. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that this was a thing. Is this new? Gift log? I gave her salad too, didn't I? So you know which gifts they like. It's a good idea. Whenever I mentioned this before, but whenever I play these games, I don't really care about talking to the people. I guess I play this game like I live my life. I just don't really talk to anybody. I just do the farming. But then I do the marriage stuff because that's part of it. So I just kind of give gifts to one person and then I ignore everybody else. Whoops. No fish today. I'm glad I did this today. I almost put it off till tomorrow. But I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I'm not gonna go to church. Oh no. What should I buy? Don't really need those. I already have all this stuff. No, I don't want to do any yield stuff because I'm already like 10 days into the month. I think it's just melons. Okay, I'll plant these and then I'll be done. Whew, we did it. We did it. Oh. Okay. Man, that was a good day. I guess I'll go to sleep and save, and that'll be it. "10 o'clock already, I was just in the middle of a stream." I should work on a whole parody song. I've got the first line. I should do fun stuff like that. That will make people like me, right? Because you can't rhyme stream with stream. 10 o'clock already, I was just in the middle of a stream. I need fun things to do to make people like me. So that's one thing. I sing that song at the end. Okay. I think that went okay. Hopefully the sound worked. I thought about I could stream this game. And then the other game I thought about was Rocket League. Might be fun, but it would be hard to talk during Rocket League because it's like it takes a lot of attention. But that might be fun. I'm not good at Rocket League. Would it be weird if I just played one game of Rocket League right now? I just got the idea. Did it save? What happens if I do this? So it's recording my audio.